Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com, and I am playing World of Tanks. This is a 9.8 version. This video is about crew assignment. I have many videos about crew assignment. Some of them do different things. This is going to show how I'm going to deal with my crew after the end of the Domination battle series, the trial that they did for 30 days. Basically what happened is they did a special 30-day thing for Domination battles. They gave everybody a couple free tanks. In this case, the T110E5. But what I did was, instead of using the base crew, I put in the crew from my T32. So my T32 crew doesn't really exist. You know, I completely got rid of them. So we're going to send these garbage guys, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I send them back. Now that Domination is over, I'm going to return my T32 crew back into their tank. And there's two things that are going to happen. One is I'm going to retrain them all so that they're ready to play again. And number two, I am going to reassign them if I think they could do a better job playing on another tank. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is look at my barracks, and I'm going to look at the United States. We've got these 6 guys lying around, nothing to do. You'll note that they all came from the T32. They were temporarily on the T32, or the T110E5. He's at 39% because I played a couple of games with the T110E5 crew before I decided to move in my T32 crew. And we've got someone from a Chaffee, which I no longer own the Chaffee. Okay, so now this guy here, he's a gunner. I can get another one of him for free. He has no skill. I'm going to get rid of him. This guy here has 58% clutch braking. This one has 43% situational awareness. This one, like I said, I can get him for free. He has no skills or no perks, so I'm going to dismiss him. And then we've got this guy. He's got 34% camo, and this one has 39% camo. Okay, the best we have is 58% for clutch braking. Now I'm going to go over here, and all of my members on this crew that are being returned have at least 2 skills. So I've determined that all of these crew members have more skills than anybody in the barracks. So the people in the barracks right now at best have 56% with 1 skill. So now I'm going to look at all of my tanks to see who has 1 skill. They do, but they have more than the 56%. They do, but they have more than the 56%. These are hovering around 56%. I'm only playing, this is a tank that I finished playing a long time ago. It actually leads to the T32. I'm just playing this for fun. They have 2 skills, and they have everything greater than 56%. I'm guessing that this crew was specifically picked for this tank because their skills are all the same. And you know what? I could research this right now and never play it again. I'm going to be selling this tank and moving up to the next one. So basically, here's what I've determined. The crew that I have in the barracks is my worst crew. Everyone that's in the tanks are comparable or better, with the exception of T1 doesn't count, with the exception of this guy. But he doesn't count. Like I said, I just play it for fun. Okay. So we've got this tank. We have to reassign these guys, which means I'm going to have to pay for these guys to become T32 tank drivers. But before I do that, one of the things you're going to notice is that they're all set for repairs. And if you watch my videos, you'll know, well, this crew is set for playing Domination. In domination, you don't need camouflage. You need things like repairs. You're constantly being rammed, so you want the thing for the ramming damage. You want jack of all trades. It doesn't even have Sixth Sense, because Sixth Sense is unnecessary in domination. You're constantly spotted. So this is a domination crew. I'm going to have to switch it back so that it's for normal gameplay. The other thing I'm going to do is, if you look at my radio operator only needs 2 skills, the same with the loaders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can take my radio operator and put him to better use on another tank. Let's see how the T-37 is doing. He's got a commander with 3 skills, but he doesn't have the gunner with 2 skills. So that's something I might want to fix. This one has a 3-skill gunner. That I don't care about. He has a 2-skill gunner, 3-skill commander. This one is not a tank that I take that seriously, so I don't care so much about what his skills are, but I would kind of prefer that the commander had more skills. I'm not that crazy about playing SPGs, and I only play them to complete the missions to win a free tank and things like that. But if I had a commander, there's a reason why you would want more skills, because you want the camouflage, you want the mentor, and you want the Sixth Sense, and you want the recon. So you want those 4 skills on this tank. Where can I get them? Well, I could take this guy over here and move him into that tank. And I don't need a loader that has 2 skills. So this guy would be better off if he was in charge of that artillery. And same here. You know, I've got this gunner here. I would prefer, if my gunner has 2 skills, I'd rather have the 2-skill gunner than have the 2-skill loader. So I'm going to move some people around. These guys are all going to stay. This guy is going to level up this radio operator. This loader here, like, I don't need repairs. Because I use the 2 repair kits. I rarely need repairs. So I could move out this loader, and I could move out this loader or that loader. So we've got 2 loaders that we have the potential of moving. This radio operator, for example, I don't need him to have 3 skills either. So we've got 4 people that I could potentially move to become the gunner on that other tank. And even this loader right here could be moved. Okay, so how do we get this T-37 gunner to have more skills, and how many skills are we going to give him? We could take the T-32 loader is a really good choice, but he still only has 2 skills, and we really want somebody that has 3. Which means I might have to wait. I might have to wait until they level up a little. Okay, so I think that the commander is going to stay. He's my best commander. However, there's the issue where I need to reset his skills because I will never use repairs. And Jack of all trades I don't use very often. I get them based on how important they are. I get them based on how much I'm actually going to use them. So Sixth Sense comes first. Very high priority. I would say that Camo and Recon and Mentor are kind of tied in importance. You get a huge benefit with Camouflage. So I'm definitely want Camouflage. And he does have coated optics, so I don't really need the Recon. I'm going to get the Camouflage, and I'm going to get Mentor. And When it gets up to the next skill, I will add Recon, and then I will add Jack of all trades. You know what? I probably should have put Recon over here. That was probably a mistake. And then you need to go to Training, Current Vehicle, Tank Academy, and now he's ready to go. Now for the next guy, the Gunner, definitely want 3 skills on my Gunner. So I am going to train him for the Current Vehicle 100%. And I'm going to reset his skills. I don't know why I chose Snapshot. This was a heavy tank, the T110E5. I guess because it was close combat. So I'm going to reset. I'm going to pay the gold. You want to have Deadeye because it increases the chance to cause damage. You absolutely want that. You definitely want Designated Target. Makes targeted enemy vehicles visible for 2 more seconds. Definitely want that. And then I would say Camouflage. But you know what? There's people that play differently than I do. If you play the way I do, you want Camouflage. I hide all the time. I absolutely get a benefit from Camouflage. And if you don't have it, then you would be at a disadvantage if you came up against me on the battlefield. Okay, for the driver, controlled impact, off-road driving. Off-road driving is kind of a priority because whenever you're driving and you're not on a paved surface, you're off-road driving. So you're constantly doing this in the game. I chose controlled impact because during domination you're constantly ramming into enemy tanks. But I'm not playing this in domination right now, so I'm going to change it for regular gameplay mode. I'm going to pick Camouflage because you take advantage of stealth. I'm going to take off-road driving because, as I said, you're going to take it. This is a skill that you will use, and I prioritize it. How often, like clutch braking, is the traverse speed, spinning the tank around. Well, you're going to be driving more than you're spinning your tank around, so I take off-road driving. Ramming has to do with how fast your tank is. If you have a faster tank, you're going to ram more often. But I don't think, this is 35 kilometers, it's a medium speed. I really don't think that I ram tanks very often. I would love to, but I don't. And I don't think smooth ride is necessary because I'm really not firing on the move. But clutch braking, I'm constantly spinning my tank around to drive around the corner of a building or to get out of a tough situation. I love clutch braking, so I'm going to pick clutch braking, especially if you have a tank destroyer. Tank destroyers, you absolutely will need something like clutch braking. The driver has a lot of great skills. You could easily add controlled impact and smooth ride, and preventative maintenance and repair and the rest of them. Okay, what's next? Okay, what I forgot to do was train him for the current vehicle. Now he's ready to go. So now we've got the loader, which, I wish I had done it differently. I wish I had it where he had the adrenaline rush and camo, but I don't think you need adrenaline rush twice. I think you can only use it once, so I only need it on one loader. I'm going to check right now. Yeah, you only use adrenaline rush on one loader. This happens to have 2 loaders. I'm going to look at the tank that comes after it. He's got 5 crew members, so he's probably not going to use both loaders, and he's only got 4. So it's only for this tank that I'm going to have the 2 loaders, and it's going to be 100,000 experience that I have to play. I want camouflage. I don't need repairs. I don't use repairs very often. So I'm going to train him for the current vehicle. and I'm going to reset his skills at 100%. I am going to use Adrenaline Rush, and I'm going to use Camouflage. Okay. If I had to do it differently, would I do anything differently? Perhaps this loader, perhaps I would change him to give him safe stowage and camouflage. But I'm kind of happy the way it is. So that's my T-32. Now, I want to check all of my crew members. We're going to put everyone into the barracks and back into the T-34. They use the same crew. So I want to make sure everything's good. We're not going to change this crew at all. Okay, everything looks good. Now let's check out my other tanks. Okay, we got a gunner here I would like to fix. You know what? I didn't do anything. I already paid for all that stuff, and I didn't fix my gunner. Let's check the barracks. Let's see what we got here. We've got 39%, 43, 34, 58%. I did want to make my gunner have extra crew. However, I don't really fire very often with a tank like this. When you do scouting, you don't shoot the gun as often as when you have a regular tank because you don't want people to detect you. But that's one thing that I do want to change, is that gunner. But you got to find somebody to replace him with. Okay, let's look at the T-28 prototype. Wonderful tank, by the way. I suppose that I could take the loader from this tank and make him the gunner over here. The other option is I am working on a mission, and as the prize you can win a female crew member, and that crew member will come with one skill at 100% starting the second skill. And I will show you how it worked out on my French tanks, which, you know, for the past couple of weeks, doing pretty good, 69%. So what I might do is wait until I win another one of those crew members, which could be any day now. I could easily do it tomorrow. And then that would instantly bring this up to the second skill. And I wouldn't have to pay to have Deadeye and then Camouflage. So that's probably what I'll do. This tank is one of my favorite tanks, and therefore I wanted to have a good crew. Let's see if there's anything else I would change. I would like this commander to have more skills, but the crew has to come from somewhere. So let's say I want him to have more than 60%. I could take any one of these guys and make him the commander on that tank, such as one of these loaders, this loader. I can make this loader the commander. I'm not going to do it right now because, like I said, I've only got one more game, and I could do it. I could right now upgrade this tank into a new tank. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm not going to play this tank anymore. I am going to sell this tank. I'm going to hit this button. I don't advise doing this because obviously I could play. You want to keep your free experience for modules. You don't want to use them for tanks. Free experience works on every tank, but combat experience only works on this tank. I could play one game with this and get the double victory and get, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 experience and save that free experience for something else, then get this tank and use that free experience to pay for the tracks, and that's it. All I got to do is play one game, and to me these two tanks are the same. In fact, they use the same gun. So I'm probably going to play another game, and then I'll have to redo the crew. The driver on this tank you want to have more skills. You want him to have controlled impact because he will get rammed often. You want to decrease ramming damage. You want to use off-road driving because you're constantly doing that. You want smooth ride because you're constantly going to be firing on the move. You want, I would say that the traverse speed is not that important because I don't know if it works when you're at high speed. But these three skills you want. You want to have good drivers on your light tanks. But they have to come from somewhere. And I did get to my fourth skill. It takes a long time. Here's what'll happen. These guys eventually are going to get to a fourth skill. But the driver on this tank doesn't have to have 4 skills. And what I will do is I'll take these guys and I'll split them up and I'll place them in other positions on other tanks. Same with these over here. And I've got lots of videos that show how to do it. That's how I built this tank to be the way it is. The commander has an extra skill than everybody else that gives him an advantage with the recon and the camo and the sixth sense. You want him to have as many skills as possible. I will show you an example with my Russian tanks. He's got 4 skills over here. And he has 4 skills. And the T-44 has 4 skills. And the rest of them don't. So when you look at those skills and, oh, I wish I had this and that and this and that, that's how I did it. They came from my IS-8. These used to all have 4 skills, but I moved them around. And I replaced them with people that had 2 skills, and these guys have since built up higher skill. Okay, so that is reassignment of my crew for the USA. Again, this one I'm going to postpone until I get that win some new crew members. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.